Meta. One of the best guns in the entire. Most broken NPC 25 loadout. This gun shreds people.
The META is the short definition of mommy.
Erase those assholes.
No, it's just the most effective tactics available. And in terms of video games, it's mostly associated with gadgets and tools that the player can use to its own advantage. So mostly guns in PvP shooters like Call of Duty and Battlefield, and famously known to be presented by content creators and streamers. But why is this now such a problem if the meta actually comes to your advantage? And are content creators and streamers really the reason behind the meta problems? Well, shortly said, it depends on a perspective, and the controversy of the meta topic is nothing but a moral dilemma. The so-called meta, the most effective tactics available, are always present. Most effective. It's related to whatever is given. Even if you got only 2 weapons in a game, for example, one of them will still be considered as the meta, technically speaking. It's just related to a point of view. If you're using it, it's the best thing you have, and the best feeling of all. And if you're being confronted with it, it's absolutely annoying and a nightmare to play against. But fact is, it's there, and it can be equally used. It's not like a glitch or bug. You know, an unfair advantage that can only be used from one side. Depending on the genre, franchise and game, a meta can be more or less effective. A game like Battlefield that has big maps, that has long and close distance gunfights, suffers more from a strong meta since it dominates more different scenarios. So what you need to know is that it always has been there and not been created by any content creators or streamers. Yes, they do generate content about the best tactics and guns, and instantly find the best meta after every update, and fasten the search for the best gun in the game. But they are not creating them, whether you like it or not, but they are not the origin of the problem. And so, if the meta is something that always exists, and can only have a huge influence depending on the game and the stats of those guns, then why bother? Like, who cares if I play it anyway? Well, with great power comes great responsibility. If you can't control it, it will eventually take control of you. I know it sounds awkward, and it is, but from a psychological perspective, the growing meta bubble is just like a virus destroying these games. A meta can control the entire experience. If the gap between the meta and the other tools or guns is way too big, it will eventually develop new standards. It can completely overthrow the balance and literally break the game's identity, as we saw multiple times in the past. And with your enemies having a high advantage with the meta, you become constantly stressed, which gets you tired in a short amount of time and eventually make you quit due to exhaustion. The younger generation and the unemployed people might be laughing now, but go and try to invest that time and this energy while working a 9-to-5 job. And let me tell you, it sucks. But you know what's sneaky about those metas? Quite often, those are done on purpose, either to make the gun more popular in the game and to sell skins, or they got paid by the manufacturer in real life to make the gun stand out more than the others, just like the ACR in MW3. Far worse are the consequences in terms of psychology, and these points, in my opinion, should get more attention. Like actively developing a skill issue. I literally never thought I would be the one saying this to others, but playing constantly metas just drops your skill in the game. If you always play the best to have an easy experience, there will be no challenge, and by the time goes by, you will eventually get used to the meta and forget everything else. Forget the feeling of a length of a proper gunfight or how to control high recoil. It's pretty much the same like taking a city accountant and putting him right into the woods. Yeah, good luck. Your brain forgets the standards of the game and also changes over time. Besides losing your memory, your brain also develops to an unhealthy direction. The reason why we play metas is because we want to win, and we want to win because it makes us happy. And in order to make us happy, our brain has to release dopamine in order to stimulate us. But if we put too much focus on the meta, it gets so much harder for us to get satisfied that we eventually just can't be pleased anymore. Suddenly, a triple kill could feel pretty generic, and then passively force us to lose interest in the game. And if we then still decide to stick to the game, it will boost our rage and make us emotionally labile. So besides destroying the experience in the game, it also destroys us. I know, it's easily said. If you have enough discipline, you can ignore it and find other ways. But if you get constantly killed like 15 times by that same motherfucker with the same f***ing meta gun, you will eventually pick it up and try it yourself. Like I said, just like a virus. And so, what medicine is the best? What are we gonna do about it? Well, in best case, the guns in the game are so well balanced that there ain't much difference between the meta and the other guns. I'm not talking about making them all the same, but designing them with enough variety and without making one single gun dominating the others. But since it's pretty much never the case actually, there is just one way. Face it. Look, if we have a gun in a game that's completely broken, that makes the game almost impossible to play, sooner or later it's gonna be fixed. But there will always be a replacement, less effective, less broken, but still strong enough to dominate the others. Like I said, the use of the meta is a question of morale. The meta will always exist, and you will always have people who are willing to play it. I know, I'm sorry it's not the answer that many of you probably hope to hear, but that's how it is. And therefore, just focus on yourself. I mean, as long as you're not playing for money or a competitive match, do you really constantly have to play the meta and compete against the lobby? Or do you want to enjoy a nice time and just play the game? Do you want to put time and effort in skills and actually learn the standards of the game? Or just go with the meta and easily f*** everyone else in the lobby? Or at least, make it easier to win gunfights. I have to point out that the meta is of course never a guarantee to success in a match. You still need to know how to move, aim, position yourself and predict enemy movement. A meta still remains as a powerful tool that can only reach to its full potential by a good player. Just keep that in mind. But besides that, it's all up to you. You decide your own happiness. And if you're completely anti-meta and just can't bear it anymore, then consider switching to another balanced game. Do whatever you enjoy and do what's best for you. It's that simple. Now I hope this video could help some of you and clarify the situation. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I thank you very much for watching, I hope you enjoyed the ride, and I see you guys in the next video.